Hi, welcome back to the Frame Solutions podcast. If it's your first time, welcome. My name is Faith, and if you're a returning subscriber, hi, good to have you back. To be honest, in the last 6 months, I've hit rock bottom a couple of times, and I've been able to bounce back and have that resilience. I lost my dad abruptly. He wasn't sick. He died within 24 hours. And just as I was grieving his loss, I got to find out that I'd lost my contract, that I would not have a job starting the beginning of 2024. Of course, this came with mixed emotions. I kept on wondering, why me? Why am I at this place? I contemplated my existence. I wondered what my life was going to turn out to be like. I wondered how soon I'd be able to get back into employment. I wondered how I'd gotten to this point of knowing I had it all at one point and I lost it all within a blink of an eye. So in this episode, I'm going to share with you practical steps I've taken to get myself from rock bottom. Trust me, rock bottom sucks. I've been there for quite some time. And these are the steps I've taken to get myself from that ditch of despair, the ditch of self-pity, the ditch of frustration, the ditch of affliction, and everything that you can term it, to get where I am right now, that I can share this video with you. Bear with me if it gets a bit emotional. I'm never emotional on my podcast, but I believe that if you watch this video until the end, you pick something that will benefit you and get you to a better place as I am. I wouldn't say that everything is perfect, but at least I can sit here and record this episode and share with you this encouragement to encourage you on your journey of your personal development and career development. So without further ado, let's get right into this episode. So the first thing I did was to give myself the grace I needed to grieve the loss of a parent, to grieve the loss of my job at the point when it was going well. What I've not mentioned is leading up to the loss of my job, there was a big prospect of me becoming a consultant for the company I was working for. It was a big job. I had seen and participated in the writing of the grants, and in those grant proposals, we had proposed what type of work I would be doing, how much I would be earning. Everything seemed to be bright, and we were confident that we'd get the funding for the project that I was working on. But lo and behold, that never happened. So that meant I could not be kept. Of course, that meant I had to go back to ground zero and think of how was I going to survive? How soon would I get another job? How soon will I pick myself up? And how soon would I heal from the loss of my parent? So I took 3 months off, that was January, February, and March, to put my life in order, reset my mindset, and start looking for an opportunity that I would end up doing. Of course, even during that time of January, February, and March, I was looking for positions, but I was entailing that my availability would be starting April. To look at it in the other perspective, I would say that those 3 months gave me time to heal emotionally, time to change my mindset, time to reevaluate my career goals, and time to have some clarity on where I wanted my career to go. So the number one thing I say is you have to make sure you give yourself that grace to grieve that person that you've been, to grieve the situation you're going through, and also to heal from any emotional or mental issues that you're having. It's very important to be in a good mindset before you embark on any career development or personal development that you're going to do after that. So I have a triangle that I was looking at based on where I was. So I looked at what was in my means, of course, my family, of course, my personal self-care, and of course, my mental health came first because it was at the bottom of where I was at that point. So I evaluated myself in that essence. And after I'd done that, I decided to do self-care practices that would make me feel better. For instance, I love to journal. I decided to journal many of my thoughts. I decided to get a journal and write what I felt. I wrote down 3 questions that I'm going to share with you later on in this video. And these questions will help you see where you're at now and what you can do to get where you want to go. Many of us think that to change your current state when you're at rock bottom, you have to just wake up one day and decide to make that leap into the person that you want to be. but that will be a recipe for disaster. What I would encourage you to do is to first evaluate your current position. Where are you at mind frame wise? Where are you at emotional wise? Where are you at physical wise? Where are you at in how you feel, like your general well-being and even your surrounding? After you've done the evaluation, the next step is to look at what version of you do you want to be. I was at rock bottom. Of course, most of my rock bottom issues were more of my mental health and also my emotions, and also the fears that I held in terms of where my career would be when I didn't have that employment that I had projected I would have at the beginning of 2024. So I had to figure out where I was at that point. After figuring out that point, I decided to look at what first step would I take to get me closer to where I wanted to see myself. As God would have it for me, I had things that were going well in my life. My kids were fine. My partner was fine. I had a roof over me. I had food to eat. Some things were going well despite what I was going through. And I relied on that solace, knowing that even if my life wasn't going the way I wanted it to go, based on what I had gone through, I had some things that were going well in my life. So the next step was to figure out the next step I would take to get me closer to where I wanted to be. And these are the questions I asked myself. The number one question I asked myself is, what's most important right now? What's most important right now? Despite everything that I was going through, what was most important at that point? The most important thing at that point was to work on my mental health, was to get back to the person I wanted to be, was to grieve the loss of my parent, was to grieve the loss of a job, and also was to make sure I was compassionate towards myself. Compassion would depend on you as a person. Engage in activities that make you feel validated. Engage in activities that bring you solace. For instance, I love to go for long walks. I love to journal. I love to work out. I love to feed myself good food. And I also love to relax. So those are the things I decided to do for myself as my self-care, to get me in that mind frame that would make me know that at least I had some things going in my way. So after I finished that question, the second question I asked myself is, what's keeping me where I was? The answers to this question for me were grief, fear, the fear of the unknown, the fear of putting myself out here on this YouTube channel, and the fear of navigating the job search when I decided that I needed to go back and look for a job. So those were the three things that were keeping me stuck in that current position. The third question was, if I stayed where I am, how will 6 months from now look like? 6 months is an ideal time for me to evaluate my progress, in the sense that I'll know the progress I would have made to get where I want to go. So I asked myself that question. If I stayed where I was in March, where would I be by September? And of course the answers I wrote down, I would be miserable. I would still be where I am. I would not have made any progress in my career. I would not have tackled the things I've always wanted to do, like being able to communicate through video, like growing my YouTube channel, like growing my coaching business, and also looking for a job that I knew I deserved to get. So those were my answers. Number 4 question is tied into the question number 3. What am I willing to let go of to make room for being the person I want to be? I was willing to let go of this fear I had to step into the person I want to be. I was willing to let go of all the fears I had about life, having lost my dad abruptly, having lost my job abruptly, to become the person I am today. And day by day, I woke up and I looked at these 4 questions. Number 4 question is tied into the question number 3, but I looked at them in the essence. I'm like, what's most important right now? What's keeping me where I am? What am I willing to let go of to become the person I want to be? And from March 2024 to now, June 2024, it's been 3 months. I would like to report to you that I've made so much progress in how I got myself out of rock bottom. I've been able to see that I've tapped into creating YouTube videos. I've tapped into taking care of my mental health. I've been able to achieve my fitness goal. I wanted to lose 20 pounds at the beginning of the year, and I've lost the 20 pounds. I documented my fat loss journey on my personal YouTube channel. I'll leave it in the description of this video if you want to check it out. And I've been able to make so much progress in seeing myself get back to where I wanted to be 6 months ago, when everything in my life came crumbling down. To pick yourself from rock bottom, you have to decide that it's time for you to change. You have to decide that you've had enough of that situation that you're in and you're ready to tackle the next phase of your life. In life, we are guaranteed hardships. In life, we are guaranteed curveballs. In life, we are guaranteed hurdles. But it's how you bounce back from these hurdles that determine the person that you become. You are not going to live a life of smooth sailing. That is only in novels and in movies. Life is going to throw at you things. But how fast you bounce back from those hardships determine the kind of person you become. On any personal development journey, there are going to be scenarios and situations out of your control. But it's how you react to these situations that determine the kind of person you become in the end. I would like to conclude this video and tell you that if I've been able to get myself out of rock bottom, you too can do this. So don't give up, keep going. If you've loved this video, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye. I hope you've learned something from this episode, and if you have, please rate and review wherever you listen to your podcast. Subscribe to this podcast. Share it with your family, friends, and those that you think are interested in career development. Also, follow me on the socials, which is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. The username is The Frame Solutions. I can't wait to speak to you in the next episode. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.